Alright. Testing my audio setup, because I never get it right. Okay, let's see. I don't know if it looks fine. It looks fine. Okay, we'll go with it. It's fine. We're gonna pretend it's fine. I know how to fix it if it's not fine. Oh well. But it's Minecraft time. I haven't played Minecraft in so long. Specifically not, my solo survival. Hello, Puso. Hi, darling. Hello. That's the Minecraft. I don't want to move that. I want chat. Give me chat. Thank you. I'm gonna go down here. Actually, where do I usually... It's been so long since I've played Minecraft. I think I usually had it up here? The top corner? But anyway... It's been a while since I've played Minecraft with the Minecraft music in the background. I've missed it. I've barely been I had not actually been playing Minecraft outside of stream because I like Minecraft and I like doing menial tasks. So I have been playing Minecraft, just not a lot. I just haven't been doing too much. I've decided that what I want to do is I had like ambitious build ideas for the first floor that I dug out. Now that's finally dug out, I've decided I don't want to do that anymore. Cause it sucks and I don't like it. But I don't want to just get rid of all of the sand, because that took forever to place. So I'm changing the idea. We're changing the idea a little bit. I'll come down here and remove these building bases later. It's looking great. Too bad. I'm getting rid of it. I do like the terraforming so far, at least the shape of it. I have an idea of what I want it to make it look like, but in order to do that, I do need sand. So I'm going to get some more sand, which is why my inventory is like super sparse. Oh yeah, and then I've also been getting copper for the copper cow. Thank you. I don't remember what I fell asleep, so I don't actually know how long it's been since I've spoken to you. And I don't remember the time I left call, or last time we spoke. What time has it been? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm always confused. But yeah. Let's see, where's my mouse is, like, there's something on the feet of my mouse that's, like, catching. It's really annoying. Okay. Desert negative 2011.50. Which is this way. No, I don't want to die. Well, if I die, it's not too bad. I'll just appear at home. But I still don't want to do it. I've started using, like, I changed my GUI so it's smaller, which I never used to like having before because it's hard to see things, but the amount of traveling I've been doing in-game, at least, well, obviously in-game, the amount of traveling I've been doing, it's hard to see anything with, like, because I used to have it at 3, it's at 2 right now, and, like, having my cords open makes it a lot easier to travel. Having it smaller GUI makes it so I can actually see what I'm doing and I don't have half the screen covered. Yeah. I'm probably gonna change it back at some point simply because if I'm like crafting and doing stuff, I'm like 2 feet away from my screen right now and I don't think I can properly see. So bad at controlling the boat. I don't think I can properly see the things in my screen, or at least the things that would be in my inventory, because my eyes are not good. I also have not played Minecraft just in general. Like, properly played Minecraft. I think I've said that already, but like, doing Minecraft things have not been doing Minecraft things of any variety. Or like, I've been collecting resources is what I've been doing, not like playing the game. I'm playing on Ruins, like the server, and it's always it's the curse of joining a server, but like the server died almost immediately after it started. I almost never see anyone else on right now when I'm on, or whatever I'm on, and it's like, it could be because I'm in the wrong time zone, but I don't think so, because that doesn't sound right. Because I get on at like any point in the day, because I don't sleep properly. But yeah, it's the curse of joining a server, even though you think like, oh, it'll stay, it'll be cool, at least we'll have a few months of content with other people, but no. I did like I don't even think I did a stream on my own channel with other people who were not poly. Straight up, I think I was on Sean's stream, and then that's it. And then that's the last time I saw anyone else on the server. I've just been playing me and Polly. Yeah, doing my usual thing, making an elaborate house that no one's going to see. I was actually originally thinking of making the second floor on, the second floor that I'm changing today. Originally planning on making it, like, another library, simply because that's fun, and that's something I know how to do. I like making libraries, so I was thinking about making another library, but then I remembered how long it took me to do the sand, and I'm just like, God, no, I'm not doing that. We're keeping it sand. And so I looked up builds I could do that involve sand, and then I came up with the idea I'm using. I just need more sand. Need more sand for both sandstone and just sand in general. I'm trying to decide if I want to get rid of the dirt. I don't know if I want to. I don't think I mind, but we'll see. It was fun to see just evidence that a random mob has died. Oh. I'm pretty sure I've like destroyed the majority of this desert over here. Or no, not the majority of this desert, but like the very close accessible parts. Because I just keep coming back here to get sand. I used like all of the sand I had. Which, like, you know, it's fine, but does not feel like a lot. I feel like I've transported so much sand. I just realized I picked this up. This isn't, I'm not gonna be able to use this. Wait, there you go. Or I'm not gonna be able to carry it because there's another boat over here. I'm not gonna be able to carry it because I'm carrying all of the sand. Okay. I don't know why I go in. Yeah, because like over here, you can see where I've just stolen all of the sand. Yeah, it's not actually that much that I've taken. It just looks, I'll be fine, baby. I'm not gonna die. I've only and if I die, it's fine. It doesn't do much. It doesn't set me that far back. It's my favorite thing, because I was playing on, like I've said, I've been playing on Ruins, which is a server in normal difficulty, which I never play. And also, it has, well, there are graves, so, which is really nice, because then I don't have to, like, lose all my stuff every single time I die, which is nice. But every time I do die, and like right now I've been adventuring because I'm looking for bamboo on the server. But every time I've been adventuring, it's like I'm significantly away from my spawn point. And so I have to like travel thousands of 1,000+ blocks every single time, just get back where to where I was. And I was caught in this village. Yeah, I was stuck in this village because I was running out of food because I don't have like a sustainable way to get food on that server because I've just been taking advantage of the airport. My computer's lagging out because of all the blocks. To pick them up. Yeah, but I didn't have a sustainable way to get food, so I'd been running out of food, so I was staying in that village to cook up a bunch of potatoes because that's what they had there. And it became nighttime, obviously, and so the mobs came out, and my stupid brain decided, let's just go outside. Why not? Let's just go outside and do something. I don't even know what the point of that was. I think I was just bored because I was just waiting for the my like 3.5 stacks of potatoes to cook. Which takes forever because it wasn't even there weren't even smokers. I was just using like the furnaces in a blacksmith. But yeah, I was just waiting for them, and then I went outside, and there's just a whole bunch of mobs outside. And I get to another house, and I'm looking at the mobs, and I decide I can go outside more. That's fine. So I go outside, and guess what? I die. So I'm 1,000 blocks away, and all of my stuff, all of like my good stuff, because you know, travel with your favorite tools, kind of thing. All of that's in a chest, thousands of blocks away from my spawn, and I still haven't found any bamboo, so I have to go back. And then I go back, and then I die again, because I'm being impatient. I don't want to just wait for my potatoes to cook. At that point, I don't even think I need it all, because like, again, I had like 1,000, or not 1,000, I had like 2.5 stacks, or 3.5 stacks of potatoes, so I didn't even need to get the potatoes. I could have just, or all of them, I could have just left them there. But I didn't. I didn't just leave them there. So I died twice in that or I don't actually remember how many times I died in that village. I hate this. Let me click you. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I don't remember how many times I died in that village. But it was like a significant amount of times because I remember. It was annoying is what it was. Oh my god, I can't hit. My aim's so bad. Yeah. But other than that, building's been fun on that server. I think I just prefer building on servers, not because they make it better or anything, I just feel like it's, I can, like it's more, like, I don't know, it's like more substantial, than when I build in my solo world. Even though it's like, that's not even necessarily true. I guess on the server, it is kind of more substantial because that one's in like normal mode, but even when I was playing like Grainy or whatever, it felt more substantial. Which is why I've not been playing on this one. But I want to play today, so that's fun. I want to do more Minecraft stuff. Keep forgetting that I like Minecraft. It's a fun game to play. Oh well. Good to do. Give me sand. Alright. I don't even have that much. Okay. I also said I wanted to do more streams. I actually might do that now because I have more time. Oh, and I just dropped my shovel. Yeah, I might actually end up... Oh my god. Why is my aim so bad? Okay, so, would you believe me if I told you I don't have any? I think in the solo world specifically, I just didn't... I have no clue if I've made armor. No, I think I have, I just don't use it. I don't know. I use armor on ruins most of the time. I should really just sleep off the night right now. I'm gonna go do that. We're gonna go into the village just because this is really annoying and I'm just trying to collect materials, please. There's a cat. I don't think, oh no, I do have a cat. I have Kuso, the cat. Yeah, we're just gonna sleep here, sleep through the night, get rid of all this stuff so I can actually just get sand, because that's what I want. I just want sand. I'm gonna steal some sand. Okay. Over here. I feel like I was saying something before. I can't remember what it is. But yeah. I just don't use armor. It just feels like I'm gonna die anyway, right? Just make it quick. That's not how that works, I know, but like still. I just think it's funny. Been experimenting with keybinds too, because I'm just like, oh right, you can do that. You can make unique keybinds. So I especially as my hand is small, my hands are small. So I changed the keybind for my 1 slot, simply because hitting the 1 is in such an, oh no, that's not what I wanted, is such an inconvenient place on my keyboard. I think in just any keyboard. So I changed it to a place that's a lot easier for me to reach. I have not been practicing at all with it. 2 is a lot easier, honestly. 2 is like specifically it's in a very comfortable spot for me to reach, so 2 is fine. Realistically I could have just like moved all the slots 1 down, but I think what I have right now is fine. Because I also use the whatever's in my 2 slot quite a bit, but yeah. Okay. I'm trying to think of things I've been doing recently. I feel like I haven't been doing much. Then again, I never feel like I've been doing much, and then sometimes I'll like try to list it out and it's like, no, I have been doing much, jeez. You know what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to get a better work ethic. That's what I'm trying to do. That's hard though, because I just hate doing things at specified times. But like, I kind of have to do that with all my new classes and such, because I have my daily class, it's just Latin, and then all my other classes are weekly, but I have basically a class every single day, or every other day. So to keep up, I really do have to keep doing things. I can't just do everything on Sunday like I used to be able to do, but I can certainly try. Just been spending a lot of time just doing my other stuff. Spending a lot of time watching YouTube videos recently, specifically like animal and pet YouTube videos. Cause God, I love those. They're so good. I'm watching called Bondi Vet, and it's about a handful of Australian vets. It's very fun. I feel like there are other shows like that are not necessarily Australian. I just think their accents make it more fun. I also have not seen other ones. The production quality is very good. I could be watching like YouTube channels that are kind of like that, because there are definitely YouTube channels like that. Like I was watching a while ago, because I'll go through phases of really liking animal videos, and like veterinary animal videos and stuff like that. There was this other channel I watched, I can't remember what the name is right now, but it was also like a vet clinic, but it was like vlog style, so it was not like a produced TV show, very much like from the point of view of the vets, and that one was American though. I don't remember what that was called. I feel like I should probably watch it too. I'd probably like that a lot again as well. Oh well, we'll see. Whatever. And I was gonna say I've fallen, but it's just been one block. I should maybe also get the sandstone. I don't have a pickaxe, never mind. There we go. I probably should have brought a pickaxe with me so I can get the sandstone as well, just because getting the sand is annoying. Because I'm going to need so much of it, of both, for what I want to do. Yeah. I think, trying to decide. Because I have the idea of what I want to do. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to execute it, or like start doing it. Go. Do. I always think I drink so much water and then like I'll be sitting down and I'll have a glass of water and then I'll drink from it and then I'll just keep drinking from it as if I haven't had water in days. And it's like, oh, maybe I haven't really had water in days. Why am I constantly dehydrated? Why can't I remember to drink water? It's a basic function of human life. Consuming liquids is necessary for me to survive. Why can't I do it? Oh well, whatever. It's fine. It's whatever. Oh, why did I keep doing that? I can't even if I leave the chunk fast enough, then it'll be fine, because randomly drink water. If you remember. But yeah, that'd probably be helpful. No clue when I drink water. Yeah, no, I'm gonna keep this boat. But like, it's just weird. It's a weird thing because I'm always thinking, or like whenever I think of it, I'm thinking like, oh, I should drink a lot of water, and then I'll drink a lot of water in small like spurts, like when I'm eating food, or not even when I'm eating food because I get really distracted eating food. It's maybe because I've been sleeping a lot, like on most days, bar like Thursday and Friday, I only have to do things technically in the beginning of the day, so I can like sleep the rest of the day, and then I just don't drink water before or after. And so when I wake up, yeah, like I don't drink water before and after, and when I wake up, there's like that moment or that period of like, oh, everything is fine. I'm not hungry, nor do I need water, and I don't need anything right now. So like there's those moments. And so I've just been living in that constantly. And then later on I'm like, why do I feel terrible? And it's like, right, because I'm missing like 5 things that I need to stay alive. Just not been doing anything. Such an inconvenience. I used to have like a water bottle with like a built-in straw. It was like one of those sippy cup water bottles. I loved that. That was so good. I should probably get another one of those because that made drinking water, like consuming water, so easy. Because I could just like lay in bed and just have it there, and there was not risk of spilling anything. And then I can just like drink it idly. And honestly, if it's getting me to drink water throughout the day, might as well. Or like it's better than me not drinking any water at all, because not drinking any water at all leads to me being, well, obviously leads me to being dehydrated, but like dehydration comes with like, makes me weird, because I'm not even like super dehydrated. I'm just like mildly dehydrated. And the same thing happens with like oxygen deprivation. I just get like lethargic and confused and like a little giggly, but not like the fun giggly, like the I fully don't know what's happening, so I'm laughing because where am I? I'm laughing because I'm confused kind of giggly. I am too far this way. I should be over there. I should be back over here. Okay. And like, I don't have like the I guess you could maybe call that the dehydration state or whatever you want to call it. Like that could technically be a warning that, hey, I should be drinking water. But like I don't recognize it as such. Like when I'm hungry, when I'm like properly, like actually like notably hungry, like I haven't eaten significantly in like a good while, my like I'll hear there's like this there's a sound, which I don't know if other people experience it, but there's a sound in the back of like my head, the back of my throat, and I know that means it's like, oh yeah, no, I haven't eaten anything, and I'm like properly hungry. But like there's nothing for that for me for water. And especially if I haven't been talking, because I can tell if I'm dehydrated and I've been talking, because like my mouth will go super dry. But if I haven't been talking, if I've just been hanging out in my bedroom, my bed, I'm gonna die. What are my cords? I actually think I should have stayed over there. I can look at my cords. Yeah, no, I'm... Oh, wait, no, I'm not actually that far off. I don't know why I keep toggling off my cords. I'm actually not that far off. I should be over. Oh my god. That'd be so much fun. I miss being able to go out and do stuff, with other people, yes, but like also just in general, because like I can technically do stuff. I still can technically do stuff because it's because like I am an adult and I have the ability to do that. But like it's so okay, so it's not even like the coldest ever, right? It's not like super cold, but it's like miserable cold. Where it's just not, it just doesn't feel worth it to go outside and do things. And like it's like a bad experience outside. It'll make me want to be outside even less. And like that's not fun. So I'm just like, I'm wary to go outside at all. I will be going outside tomorrow because I have a thing tomorrow, but like I miss going on walks. I miss going outside for walks. Because I remember in summer, I would do that a lot. I'd go and sit. I actually wanted to do that at the beginning of fall. I just never had the time to, or like the motivation to. But I remember wanting to do that in fall, where I'd go, I was gonna go on a walk where it wasn't like super cold, but like it wasn't like hot out. Just to appreciate the nicer weather. But then fall didn't happen. Fall straight up didn't happen because I wanted to go so I could see like the leaves changing and all that, but then like the leaves fell off the trees without changing colors, so it was really weird. The weather is turning off and it's sad, but whatever. Or the seasons are turning off. But yeah, so I didn't really do that. I went once, and that was because I was meeting up with a friend during the first break. Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Because, like, I remember, one of the other fun times that I had a lot ago, was meeting you out, at that park. Where do I live? Because remember we went to that park, and we were just hanging out, and we were just yelling into the sky. That was a lot of fun, and we didn't have to go anywhere or do anything. We were just talking and like hanging out. Of course, when we went thrifting, that was also really fun, but that was like cold. That was cold. Oh, look, this is where I live. Hello. Yeah, what was I saying? I was talking about, going for a walk, because I went to, damn it. I missed. I'm really bad at predicting that, but I'm gonna spawn all the way back here. No, I forgot about that. Oh, alright, that's fine. I'm just gonna sleep through the night again, because I'm so disappointed in myself. I was right there. But yeah, I went out to the park to go on a walk because I wanted to hang out with one of my friends who does not live in the city anymore. This is why I kept a boat, although there was a boat here anyway, but whatever. Yeah, I wanted to go hang out with a friend, and obviously we couldn't really like do much else because of like restrictions and all that. We wanted to be safe, so we met up at the park, or at one of the parks, and we went on a walk. Well, he was roller skating half the time, because he's a roller skater, so he had roller skates on, and that was a lot of fun. And we went, on, well, this is at High Park, so, cause, you should know, what I'm talking about, but, like, we went on both the, like, paved road, and then we also went on, like, some of the trails, and that was really nice. It was funny, though, because it was, like, well, it was the middle of fall, right? So you'd expect it to look like fall, but it didn't look like fall. None of the trees changed colors. Well, not none of them, but like we saw maybe like not two or three, but like it was only like a handful of trees that had changed colors at all, that were like even red or orange or even yellow. A lot of the trees were still green, and like noticeably green, and it was like the middle of fall, so that was weird. There was a lot of leaves on the ground that were still green, which was also very strange, because things were just falling off the trees as they were, didn't even change. And also like there was this weird thing that was happening. Either we got very turned around during our walk, or we don't know how the directions how like the cardinal directions work, because I swear to God, I swear to God that I don't know if it was like just where we were. I don't know what we did, but I swear to God the sun did not move. It was like, because I got there around 11 o'clock, like 11 a.m. And so the sun wasn't like super, like super high in the sky. Or at least like it wasn't like, yeah, no, it wasn't super high in the sky. It kind of looked like early morning. Funny enough, when I got on the subway to get there, it was early morning. It takes goddamn forever. Or not early morning, but it was like quite literally, it was the morning time. It was like 9 or 10 or something like that. So it was notably morning when I got on the bus, or yeah, the bus and / the train. Can't run. So it was notably morning when that happened. And then I got on the bus, got on the train, got there. The sun like barely moved in the sky. It was still like, it wasn't like noon, like the sun wasn't directly above us, but like it was a little to the sides. It was like not quite 45 degrees, but like it was like 70 degrees. We'll say it's like 70, 75 degrees, right? So like 70, 75 degrees in the sky, and it stayed there. We were there for like, because I had work at, and I had to leave for work at like 4 or something. So there for like a significant amount of time. We were there for like 5 hours. And the sun, I swear to God, did not move at all. Have I been here before? I feel like I have, because I don't see any gold blocks. Yeah, I have. And I remember noticing that, because it felt like it was mid-morning the entire time. And we just, we were talking, we were sitting there. I remember looking at the sun, and then looking at the sun again, and then looking at the sun again, and nothing changing. And that was very funny, because we were just in a liminal space for that amount of time. The sun did eventually go down, but it was a weird experience, all said and done. It was very fun, though. I had a lot of fun on that thing. Because, like, that friend they have a very, very fun conversations with. Just very weird, weird energies, but like fun weird energies. He just started throwing his stuff on the ground. You know, as friends do. Yeah, it was very nice. I do miss going out. I kind of... Where am I? Where am I now? Is it this way? Oh, I've been going in the wrong direction. Yes, I've been going the wrong direction. I got turned around. I kind of do miss going outside, so like I'm like having a debate on whether or not I would attend my in-person classes as soon as possible, because I really do miss like getting up, going outside, and like having that as a thing I was doing often and stuff, and like regularly, because I have not gone outside in like weeks at this point again. Although I've been more active, it's not it doesn't feel the same. I haven't put on outside clothes in forever. I've just been wearing pajamas. Yeah. I'll probably do it though. I'll probably, actually no. I'll probably not start the week, but like maybe halfway through the time I'll start, or the transition week. That's for one of my classes. I have no clue what's going on in my other classes, or actually, I don't know. I think I only have 2 classes that'll be in person. Which just so happens to be my Latin class, which I have 4 days of the week. So I'm getting out of bed a lot more often. Woo. But, you know, it makes it easier. I also kind of miss doing stuff in the library. Which is because I remember having a lot of fun with that. I just felt really productive. I guess because I was in a different environment and like it would feel weird to sit around doing nothing, and also those chairs are very uncomfortable. The library seats are very uncomfortable. It's also really cold in the library for some reason. Remember that actually? Yeah, I don't know why it was so cold in there, because it was a building with heating and stuff, but it was freezing in those libraries. Libraries. I've been to only one of the campus libraries. Library. I actually really miss libraries in general. I would go, not like often, but because I'd have to like wait between my classes, my class times, I'd actually go to, depending on where I was, like the Toronto Public Libraries. Because if I wasn't near campus, then there was no way I was going to be able to go to a campus library, but the public libraries are everywhere. So I'd go there, and that was fun because it's like nice and comfy, and there's free Wi-Fi. Should I probably like done more things there? Or like, what am I saying? It's nicer than like going to like a cafe or something, because then I don't feel obligated to buy anything. And it's free and stuff, and it's nice and warm and comfy. I think like also it's like better for the libraries, but yeah, no, I can't go into the libraries right now anyway, so sucks, but whatever. It's okay, I guess. It's alright, it's fine. Let's kill some cows. Doo-doo-doo. These are taking forever. I might just replace these those ones with these ones, just so I can have like my my green copper faster. Let's do some farming. I always liked the buildings I saw that have like green, like the green copper on them. I always thought they looked so cool. I didn't know, for the longest time I didn't know it was copper. I say the longest time, but I was like literally a child. Yeah, I'm not even that old right now. So me saying like the longest time, I was like 10. I was like 10 or 11 when I found out. It feels like a really long time because it's like half my life. But I remember seeing them and thinking they looked so cool because it was like always on buildings that looked like old, the architecture looked old and it was like castle style. It was always like my favorite buildings to look at. They just looked fancy. They looked fancy. In the cause the copper oxidizes because of like the weather and stuff like that, it always had like really interesting patterns, I guess you could say, in like the wear of the copper. Granted, that could have just been them being dirty. I don't remember. I haven't seen buildings in real life with the copper on them in a while. Because because they're not that common, but I just remember them looking really cool. I just wanted to go inside them for no reason, just because it looked nice. It's the aesthetic appreciation, okay? You don't see a lot of copper now. I remember, like, I don't remember what I'm saying I remember, but it's funny because like copper is like a usually like considered one of the least valuable materials, but I know like copper wiring, copper tubing, and like just copper in general, scrap copper is like really valuable in general for like a bunch of different things. I don't actually know what it's valuable for. I just know that it is because it's like super conductive and stuff like that. It also is antimicrobial, so that's fun. And it over the course of like 24 hours will clean itself essentially, which is very useful, especially in times like these. But it also oxidizes like crazy. Of course you can treat it, but still. But yeah, I really like just copper as material. Like, for aesthetic reasons. I have a bunch of copper wire in my room, for reasons. I don't remember why. I think it's jewelry wire, actually. It always left, like, metallic residue on my hands, which is, like, expected. But I always thought it was weird. And it's also, because it's metal, it's really soft. I think that was just the specific wire I had, and, like, stuff. But I think, actually, copper in general is, like, a softer material. Or, yeah, a softer metal. I'm not 100% on that. Yeah, I just remember I made like little, when I was younger, I made like a little copper person. Yeah, like a copper wire person. It was like substantial too, so it was like, a lot of like wire wrapping and stuff like that. I really liked it. I don't know where it is right now. I think it's in one of my pencil containers. I'd have to find it, but I just remember that because that was back when I wanted to do stop motion animation stuff. I realize now that it's not that I want to do stop motion animation, it's that I wanted to build the like puppets. That what I can call them? Puppets? I'd build like the miniatures and stuff like that because I love that. I like making things, and small little things and like that. But I remember I built that for the purpose of like trying to do little animations, and then I never did. So they just sat in my pencil case forever. They're just in my pencil, or not my pencil case, but my pencil containers. I'm gonna say pencil containers because they're literally just cans that my mom like put paper on to make them look nice and put in a box. Just put pencils in. Pencil holder? Pencil holder, that's the word I was looking for. But yeah. I should probably do something with that. There's a lot of things that, like, a lot of projects that I should start. I should do at one point. And I'm like, nah, I'll do it later. And then I never do it. And then I'm like, I should have done that before. I had time. I could have done that. It's always an issue of time with me, isn't it? Just like, nah, whatever. Time and procrastination. Woo. Cause like, I have... I technically have 3 papers due. One of them is an essay, one of them is an exhibit review. I still don't remember what that's about. Or I still don't know what that's about. I'm gonna have to look that up. we had a class where we were talking about it. We had a class where we were talking about research and how to do research in like the libraries, like the online encyclopedias and stuff like that. And I fully wasn't paying attention. Hello. Hi, Cream. We're talking about academia because that's the topic I was on. But yeah, I had a class where I was for my objects class, my things class. I could not tell you what the class is actually called. Actually, no, I can. I think it's called The Secret Life of Objects. But the designation is Vic, like VIC, VIC something or other. So I have no clue what this class actually is. Did you talk about thought review? I have not talked about thought review yet. No, I can talk about that in a second. I just want to talk about this. Did I drop something? I don't think I did. But what was it? Yeah, no, it's my things class. It's the we just talk about things and objects, and it's very fun. And I have no clue what the point of the class is. I don't remember why I took it. I think it's just because you're things, you know? It's actually quite a fun class. I'm just not sure what the point of it is. How do you get a profession in things? I guess you could be like a curator of object curator, but whatever. That's not what I wanted. I wanted to press that. 15? 2000, okay. But yeah, we're being taught how to look at or research using the school's online encyclopedias. Share the screen. Why? Here, I'll do. You know what? No, I'm not doing that. If I can remember, if you remind me later, I'll upload it to the Discord. But yeah, I fully wasn't paying attention. Let me share it. I'll do it later if you remind me. I don't want to do it right now. Yeah, no, I don't know why I wasn't paying attention. I actually know why I wasn't paying attention. I was just not feeling it. I was not having a. It's a 2-hour class, and we were just talking about how to research things in a library online. The lecture was recorded, so I might go back and like watch it like 2x speed to figure out what was happening, because I picked up the idea of how to use that database, but I don't know what else he was talking about during the 2 hours. Because it was a librarian who came in, you know, how to use the stuff, and he was talking about some of the other resources we could use, like how if we give them time, the librarians will go and like do a little bit of preliminary research to help us research things for our assignments. That is due on the 10th, so I have about 10 days to do that. I have a philosophy thing. I have a thought review assignment due on the 18th, I believe. But that was just assigned, so that's fine. I can put that off a little bit. And then I have an anthropology essay on due on the 27th, which is right after my reading week. So yeah, looking forward to that. You had a research class? What the hell do you do in a research class? Like, no, seriously, what do you do in a research class? What does that mean? I know I just said I was in a class about things, but what is a research class? Apparently, I guess just plagiarism and databases. You research, all right. That's very helpful. But yeah, I have to do an exhibit review, which means I have to do an online exhibit walkthrough, and I think the actual video's in Korean. There's like subtitles and stuff, but like, yeah, no, I don't know what the actual thing's about. Yes, I'm gonna steal it. It's mine now. Oh, okay. Alright. I also wanted to get, no. Well, now I can keep it. It's mine. It's mine now. I don't care. It's mine. Tss. You don't get a say. You don't get a say in it. It's mine. But yeah, in thought review, shulker boxes would be a good investment. Yes, but Kuso, you must understand that would require me to finish the game. I'll do it one of these days, okay? I might not stream it because that's so much work, but I might record it and then make it a video if I do that instead. Just like offline, just like, yeah, I'm just gonna beat the game. I've never beaten the game for any reason otherwise. I've gotten to the nether. My nether portal's in the worst place. I can place it back. Jesus Christ. Fine, fine. Jeez. I was talking about thought review. I was doing the class thought review. The thinking review, the review on the things that I can think of. There, are you happy? Going all together to beat the Ender Dragon. That didn't work. Remember we tried that and then nothing came of it? Okay, this and forever, undo, revert. Okay, why? Fine, whatever. We should play Minecraft together again. I know the last server we did, got nuked because someone refused to put a whitelist on it, even though we kept begging for one, and then we got griefers and stuff. But we should start the new world and, like, play together again. Maybe we'll actually beat the game. But we can also have, like, our little cute little, homes near one another. Cause I think Lover's Lake was very cute. It was a very cute idea. Serious and everyone on the server, yeah. Yeah. Elastic doesn't have Minecraft, though. I don't know if they'd be interested in getting Minecraft for whatever reason, but, yeah, that'd be very fun. I do kind of miss that, because it was, like, specifically late night sessions of gaming. Late night sessions of Minecraft gaming, where we're all, like, being quiet and we're just hanging out together. I do remember your treehouse, your fun little treehouse. It has not been that long since we played on the little server, on Sally's silly little server together. Your treehouse, which is just a house that was on the ground but put into a tree instead. Oh look, it's a Sally. It is Sally Van, who I was just talking about, because you have your silly little server. Cream, do you even want me to continue thinking about talking about the review of the thinking? Because I said I was going to because you asked about it, but now we're on the topic of Minecraft again, as it always is. It always comes back to Minecraft. Speaking of Minecraft, I've been neglecting it, both in my personal life and on streams. I realized that because I looked at my stream categories, and it was all the other games except for Minecraft. You share a thought review. There we go. You got sad about the block. Okay. So again, we're talking about Nietzsche because that was the... Oh, you've subscribed again. 6 months. Jeez, it's been 6 months, hasn't it? God, it's been 6 months. Oh my god, it's been 6 months. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted because it's been 6 months. Wow, okay. Anyway. Yeah, so we were thinking about Nietzsche because it's fun. And he's the funny little man. It likes to talk about things that are just like, you know, he likes to dismiss people and their existences. Because I remember I asked about I asked my teacher, or I put the question in chat, does he ever talk about pacifists? Because he talks a lot about, like, the will to power, you know? Which is the will to, hold power over other people in like, a show of strength, which often includes, like, hurting other people, or hurting other people, or doing things, or just enacting violence in general. So I was asking, like, does he ever take into account pacifists, or does he just think that they're, like, fake? That they do in fact wish to hold power over other people, but they are in fact unwilling, or they are unable to do so. Is that, like, because, like, I swear, if he met like a physically strong person who could most definitely, like, take a person down their bare hands, who just chooses not to, his mind might explode. Because he's, like, so sure about himself. It's funny. It's been 6 months. Yeah, it's been 6 months. Anyway, what was I saying? I was saying something. I'm getting so distracted. But yeah, we were talking about it. I didn't say much because I'm having a time. I woke up this morning before 7 o'clock, and I'd somehow convinced, or no, I woke up at 6:30-ish, 6:30 approximately. I went to sleep around 3 a.m. last night, this morning, whatever you want to consider it. But I woke up I didn't get that much sleep, and I woke up really early. And then I somehow convinced myself that my class started at 8 o'clock. My class starts at 9:10, so an hour later. And I specifically have alarms about this. I have both an alarm for 9 o'clock. Oh, I walked straight to a cactus. He was so small. You know, I woke up at 9 I have an alarm set for 9 o'clock, and I have a reminder on my phone telling me that my Latin class is at 9 o'clock, right? You'd think I'd be fine, especially because I've been going to Latin class 4 days a week for the past 3 weeks. But no, I woke up and convinced myself that it was in fact at 8 o'clock. And then I was just like, that's weird. Why isn't class starting? And I sat there in like the Zoom waiting room for like half an hour without noticing what was going on. I kept looking at the announcements because that's where the Zoom link was located, to like see if anything had changed, blah blah blah. And I kept looking at the time that class started, 9:10, and not understanding what that meant. I was having a good time, and I emailed my prof. That's the most embarrassing. I emailed my prof like, hey, did something happen with class? Why isn't it starting? And then I realized later on, oh no, wait, class starts at 9 o'clock. Shoot. So that was fun. He says fall 1.73, never ate a vegetable. It's not even that short. Although he was a German man, so fair enough. Apparently he went crazy in the last, like, 10 years of his life, so I think that's an interesting fact. But yeah, he, like... we were talking about, because we were reading Genealogy of Morals, right? And the part we were on is his outlook on aesthetic ideals, or asceticism, I guess you could say. So I don't know if I'm saying that right, because it's a weird word and I don't like it. But it's like, asceticism is essentially the act of abstinence for... No, it is very much like just like, it's abstinence from things for reasons I don't actually remember, because he doesn't explain what asceticism is at all. He's just like, yeah, you know what this means. It's fine. It's fine. You definitely know what this means. So, I'd look it up and I can't remember what it means specifically. I just know it means like it is about abstinence, and he's like, okay, so apparently, according to my prof, he wasn't like, I don't know how to explain this, but like, he's a German man from the 1800s, right? So, oh, hello, Husks. So I don't expect him to be like super liberal. But apparently, oh, what? Oh, hello. I didn't notice that. I'm gonna die to that. This is a bad time. You don't like abstinence? Well, it's like abstinence from a lot of things, which I find interesting, like, including like work. Consuming my addictions, yeah, I know, Sally. But like, from food, sex, work, other indulgences that I can't currently remember. It's like a whole weird thing. It's like the priestly ideals, whatever. Cream hates you? Yeah, I know. Refuse to sleep out of spite. Jeez. But like, it was a lot about suffering. A fun thing he was talking about was how suffering is festive. Like, he used those words, obviously not those words exactly, because he was a German man who wrote in German. I'm gonna, yeah, I should go to sleep. Okay, they're gonna fight each other. That works. Oh no. Oh no, you're targeting me again. I gotta try and, oh my god, I'm gonna die. But, what was I saying? I gotta try and, I'm so excited. He likes to talk about suffering, and he very much has like like, you know, like the white man energy who has not been through financial hardship, in which he just talks like he's the authority on things, but he also talks like oh yeah, I'm aware of my own privilege and things like that. He never says that, but he acts like it, and it's just like, have you ever spoken to anyone else other than people who it's funny. I fully got off the point I was talking about earlier, but like, apparently he wasn't super anti-Semitic, which I no clue if that's true or not. I don't know enough about him. Apparently his sister was very anti-Semitic, and because he went crazy in the last few years of his life, his sister was in charge of like publishing his works and stuff, and so she like edited and published his works with a specifically more anti-Semitic viewpoint in mind, which is an interesting thing to think, but that still doesn't like his viewpoints are still like inherently anti-Semitic and just anti-religious in general. To be fully fair, it's not specifically it is specifically anti-Semitic, but it's like, it is anti-Semitic and anti-Christian, so it's both. So it's both of those things. So it's not just because they're Jewish, it's more because they're religious in general, I guess. Yeah, no, he's weird about it. It's funny. I spoke about this to the social circus before, but like, he thinks Christianity's a scam in the way that like it really is just Judaism in disguise, as a way to trick people into believing. Have I said this on stream? I have no clue, but I just think it's so funny. Especially because like all the things that happened, just like, I guess hindsight is 20/20, and he can't have hindsight because he's dead. But like, there's just a lot of things he was talking about that it's just like, oh, are you sure about that? Because there's these things that have happened culturally in history that just don't vibe with what you're saying, but that's beside the point. Anyway, Schopenhauer, God. There's your glugs. I'll do my stretch. Yeah, I'm gonna get into one of the houses and I'll do my stretch. I don't know what else has been said. I will, you know what? I'll look through the chat. I'll do my stretch. I'll put myself in a house. I'll look through the chat. I'll do my stretch. Or I'll do my stretch and then I'll look through the chat. But yeah, I think it's funny because he's an incredibly messy person. Nietzsche is with his writing and stuff. He's very, very messy. It's just very funny. But yeah, I'm gonna stretch 1 second. And it's funny because I was supposed to look their chat 1 second. Wait, I got distracted. I was reading a book instead of answering his messages. Reading, but with a very good book. Go read that book. If you made up version of me that you created in your head, I want to punch you sometimes. Smile slept a bit. Okay. Remember I read a book called On Woman. I think that's the most male philosopher thing in all of history. Yeah. Great job, Sally. You don't get anything. Yeah, it's so funny. Schopenhauer. It's great. I do appreciate when like the whole, like, I know how to deal with you women kind of thing, like that energy. I think it's funny. It's bad, but like I think it's funny. What was I talking about? I was talking about something. I got distracted. All the trouble with being born. I think it's a little too grim. Sometimes, you know what my favorite thing to do when I'm reading things that have like a certain energy or like a certain tone to them, and like I don't necessarily want to have that tone. Just think of it in like a funny way. Just like read it and just like make everything is like think of it in like the funniest way possible. I got a book. I talked about this a while ago. I don't know if you guys remember it, but I got a book called Essays Against Everything, which is also a grim title. It's actually not like a super doom and gloom kind of series of essays. I still haven't finished it because I stopped being able to read for a while. I'm hoping to get back into doing that, but that would require me to do more philosophical reading, and I already have enough philosophical reading to do at the moment. And if I get a proper schedule of how to read things, or how to do my school readings and my homework, then it'll be fine. Then I'll be fine. Then I can start reading that again. Because I also have a book on essays relating to like horror and the horror genre that I also want to read, because I think it's interesting and I think it's very cool. But again, more philosophical readings that I'll have to do. I just want to read more nonfiction in general, and like for my own sake, because I think that's the more fun way to consume stuff. I also want to read more fiction. I want to consume more media. That's my point. I just don't do enough. I literally never spoke to a single woman in his life. Yeah. I would imagine that's correct. I would imagine it's more so that he spoke at them. There's a lot of people you could say that about. Like, have you ever spoken to this group of people that you're writing about or talking about? and I find it very funny. You know. Also, philosophy is an open major at my school, which means that as long as I do as long as I get 4 credits, which I will be getting at the end of this term. Yeah, at the end of this term. As long as I get my 4 credits, I can take the major, the course, the program. I can join the program. And so if I flunk out of anthropology, I have a backup plan. I can do I hate having things just floating around, so I will place these back, I swear. But like if I flunk out of anthropology, which honestly might happen. I'm still very interested in anthropology. I just don't think I'm interested in anthropology in the way that I need to be interested in anthropology, right? Because like philosophy kind of hits the parts of anthropology that I'm interested in, so I went to school for anthropology. I went to school for archaeology, but if I hit both philosophy and geoscience, which is also an open major, then I'm hitting the parts of anthropology and archaeology that I like, avoiding the parts that I don't. So I might just do that. I think that's kind of funny. I'm just like going around it. Yeah, you've been brandless for a while. Can you fail philosophy class? Can you fail thinking? Yes, you can fail thinking. It's, the way you fail thinking is you fail to, oh wait, I wanted to get more sandstone. You fail to articulate your thoughts, properly. Yeah. That's a funny thing to think about, but yeah. I'll probably be fine because it's like, you know, whatever. No. Yeah, no, Sally's been brandless for a while. I warned you of this. When you started to lose your blue hair, or when you lost your blue hair, it was all downhill from there. But yeah, you can fail a thought review. It just it does depend on, like, you have to do, it's probably going to be very hard. It would probably be very hard to fail thinking class, but you know, it is possible. You can fail everything. Fully, I'm not sure if there's an exam for that class. I can actually check. I can check my syllabus. Yeah, I was gonna leave one of these boats behind. I can check my syllabus. I think it might just be papers. I'm gonna actually check my syllabus right now because it's on my computer. Okay. Yeah, so I don't think I have an exam. I think it is only the papers, which is great. I don't like doing exams. Exams suck. Just give me assignments to do that I can cheese. But yeah, it's just some papers, some essays, which is expected. It's like, yeah, I could definitely major in philosophy. Then I'd have to major in philosophy. Which I joked about doing, because again, I didn't want to go to university, but I eventually ended up doing. I joked about majoring in philosophy because it feels like a useless major, right? Especially if like you're not planning to teach or anything. Kind of feels like a useless major. because I was trying to think, like, if because I didn't want to do an English major. Like, specifically, I wanted to avoid being an English major. I might take it a creative writing minor, but we'll see. Because I don't know if I want to double major philosophy and geoscience. I might not do that. I might do philosophy or geoscience major, and then, oh look, it's another boat of mine, and then do 2 minors, because it's just a lot, you know. But I was trying to think of, like, what's the most useless degree I could come up with, and my mind went to first of all, went to English major, because, like, of all the stories of people who got an English major, and it's just like, what do I do with it now? This is a piece of paper with no meaning. And I was thinking about that, but then again, I didn't want to be an English major, so I was like, you know, it's like an English major, but, like, less philosophy. I guess it's good for my soul, but not necessarily useful. I don't have a water bottle. It is a cup. It is a very large cup, and I can't tell you the amount of water I have because that's cheating. Yeah, like, I want to do creative writing, because writing's been, like, one of the only passions I've had that have, like, stayed, right? Like, it's one of the only things, like, I like, genuinely enjoy, and probably will enjoy for the rest of my life. But that will require me having to write. Or soup. English majors are soup. See, I like streaming because Sally reminds me to drink water, and then I don't become dehydrated. I also talk a lot, which also reminds me to drink water. Okay, so... But yeah, and I was like, okay, so originally I didn't want to be an English major because it's like... Well, I first of all, I really like analyzing texts, but that's the problem, because I like analyzing texts, but I don't want to have to, like, derive meaning from it. Specifically, I just want to do, like, character studies. Like, I want to do, like, character and relationship studies. I don't want to analyze what it means for the greater thing and the whatever. I also hate classical literature because it sucks. Like, I understand why it's important, blah, 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 but God, it sucks. It's so bad. It's so boring. Which is why I would do, like, creative writing instead of, like, literature, like an English literature, you know, kind of major. I do realize that, as if I was to be a philosophy major, I would have to do, analyzing, but, like, it's not fictional this time. That's why I was just like, it was a joke thing. I don't know if a creative writing minor is also a free thing, like an open course, because I didn't take any writing classes this year, mainly because I couldn't get into any of them. Because they were at the same time as other classes I had to do, or the one that I had, like the one English course, like writing course that I had, didn't happen. I was mad about it. It didn't happen. I was actually really excited about that one too, because it was about, like, monsters and stuff in literature, and I thought that would be really interesting, and then it just didn't happen, so I'm very upset about that. Being aggressive, apparently. I'm gonna leave now because Sally got feisty for no reason. Why are you making them leave? What? Also, you're friends now? Is that what you are? Bridge become writer, question mark? I would love to write, but I also hate writing. I hate writing. I don't like it. at all. It sucks. It's bad. Yeah. I do want to get into writing. I might do flash writing. Give that a try, because I've always had problems with getting like super. Don't die, don't die, don't die, don't die. Ah, okay, so getting super attached to like my characters and stuff, and like not being able to progress in any of my stories like that. But I might try flash writing. I might do like a writing challenge, and then for every single thing I have to think of like something else, which is part of what the thing is, the redeem thing. That's part of what you're supposed to help me with, but no one's helping me thus far. I need more space. I can get more, but yeah, no, so far no one has redeemed the thing. Like, yeah, I could technically do it by myself. That's not fun. I can't think of things. But I do want to do flash writing. It'll probably help with like, that's wrong. Plot and structure and things like that. Because I found that I can do. How do I? There you go. I can do like. The woo voice. Okay, that's sure. 1 second. Let me just put all the sandstone in the chest. It's the issue with having my GUI at 2 instead of 3. I can't tell what's what. We're upping my GUI. I can't see. That's music and sounds. I also can't read, apparently. It's so much bigger. That's sand. Any other? I don't think there is. Cut sandstone. Sand. If it's called it's flash fiction. That's what I was wanting to do. Because I found that like if I have like a smaller contained story, I can bang things out very, very quickly. Okay, 1 second.
Workers of the world unite! You have nothing to lose but your chains!
That's all I'm doing. I'm not trying for more. I haven't done the uwu voice I haven't done a proper uwu voice in forever. That's weird. Okay. I love writing. I start the page and eventually the words appear on it. That happens for you? Not for me. I cry. Karl.
Karl Marx.
Yes, Karl Marx. Gets annoyed with me. I'm not surprised at all. So I wouldn't do the writing thing, but it's expensive. Yeah, I know. I might turn the price down on that one, because like that's one that I'm not upset if you redeem it, because I think that one's fun. I need a mending book. Where did my mending books go? Because that's a dead trident is what that is. And it writes itself? Wow, really? Lucky bastard. What was I doing? Oh, right, I was gonna go and dismantle what I'd made. I can appreciate poetry. I can't write poetry. Not that... Like, I think that I can be poetic, right? In what I write, and I'll do that in my fiction. But I just can't. I can't do flowery language, and things like that, and like intent and stuff like that. Like it has to be like a story, because I've been thinking like I quite like the idea of poetry and things like that. It's like, why don't I try writing poetry? And then I try it, and and then I think about it. I'm like, God, no, that sucks. Imagine being able to write. Yeah. Yeah, I wanna... problem is, like, again, I've said, like, I get super attached to my characters, and so the problem with that is, when it's my own characters, I have trouble writing them if they're not in, like, their specified universe, right? Because all of my characters have their stories and stuff like that, and, like, I don't want to write their stories at the moment. Or, like, I don't want to, or they don't have, like, a fully fleshed out plot line and stuff like that, so it's hard to write things like that, or write them in whatever's happening with them. For Team Eagle Eyes, which is the, like, the, how do I describe it? Like, the scouting group with the, like, the weird stuff going on in the podcast thing. The podcast one. That would be an easier one to write, because I could write it technically in flash fiction style, because they have more, like, episodic, storylines, but the world building of that universe is a mess. It's a mess, and I don't know why I created like that, but I can't change it now because it's cemented as canon in my brain, even though, yes, I'm technically the writer of it, but I can't change it. It's canon. But, like, I get super attached to my characters, and I don't want to write them in different scenarios, even though that'd technically also be canon for other reasons that we shall not discuss right now. Or, well, quote-unquote canon. It could technically be true. It's definitely something that would happen. Which I could, like, soothe my brain into, like, using that as an excuse to write things like that, but, like, also, God, that suck. Right, I want to do this. Get rid of this corner, and I'm gonna turn this into more water. What was I talking about? I got distracted again. Brain going brr, brr. Brr, 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 brr. Actually, you know what? We're gonna leave this so I don't have to deal with all the water going in. What was I think of? So yeah, flash fiction. Back to flash fiction. What's I saying with flash fiction? I want to try it and, like, not necessarily care about the characters too much. Like, just make up random characters. I might get, like, a random name generator and then use that, and then just use that to practice. Just because I do really need to practice doing simplified plots, which is my biggest problem, because I struggle with that. Like, I like my convoluted plots. I think they're fun. They're not helpful for trying to write anything. God damn it. Because I don't have, like, a point A to point B kind of thing going on. It's just, like, whatever's happening. So yeah, I want to try that. I think I'm gonna, like, I'd give myself, like, a few days to do it, simply because sometimes, like, time is hard. Or maybe I'll do, like, the 1 a day thing, like, on like I did for OC-tober that one time, but that was like a slog, and I had, like, 1 class a day, and I barely had homework because they weren't allowed to take off marks. So I didn't really have to actually try that hard in school, but that's beside the point. So yeah, but I might do that later, but whatever. Anyway. Yeah, true, but then I realized I had pretentious run on never rhymes poetry. I think poetry hard. Yeah. Kill all the characters, question mark. Yeah, I might. I could do that. Again, that'd be in, like, the flash fiction thing, because, like, I need to create characters that don't mean anything to me, and if I make characters that don't mean anything to me, they can't have, like, timelines. Like, they can have 1 story and that's it. Like, that's all I can give to them. What's a simplified plot? Well, I don't know if you've heard how no, you've definitely heard. You, Sally, specifically should know how high concept some of my like groups of or my stories are, because they get very convoluted and like straight up there's no plot. Like the bunker one is a pretty good example of just being super high concept and absolutely no simplified plot, because they're in this timeless bunker and nothing really happens. Or like things do happen but technically can't change, and like there's the whole, it's a lot about like, okay, the problem I have with writing is that I write very much from a character perspective, or at least when I started writing, and when I especially when I started writing a lot of what I'm talking about, like my groups of characters and their storied worlds, very much they were like character driven, which is fine if you want to write character driven things, and like I do not begrudge myself for writing or wanting to create character driven things, because that's like the most interesting part of a story to me. But the problem with a character driven piece of media is that I don't have a plot to go off of, because their universe was not created with the idea of a plot in mind. It was created with the idea of exploring human interactions and human responses to traumatic events, quite literally. So I'm struggling to actually define a plot and things like that, and that's like true for all of my character stories and such. They're all character driven. They're all about the interaction of people and stuff like that, and it's just like it is not viable for until I can like sit down, like think about it for a while and like dedicate time to figuring something out. Oh my god, figuring something out. I'm not gonna be able to actually like come up with a plot there. I need a plot that can exist outside of characters, and then put characters into that plot and kind of thing. But that's not something I know how to do, or like, yeah, no. So it's a struggle. It's my Googles and post-apocalypse or IKS ripoffs. What do you mean? Shh! Leave me alone. Wow, you really hit the 3 of them, huh? Yeah, like, okay, so, yeah, for another example is, like, if we're gonna talk about, like, a Goggles Kid and Newbie, their story, quote-unquote, like, they just exist there. like, what are they doing? They're just there. They're just going through the universe. I guess you could, like Doctor Who style, thing, like whatever, but like there's no actual plot there. Again, it's another episodic thing, but there's straight up no plot there. There's no plot I can do anything with. The only one with like any kind of clear plot would be brain's not working. It would be Baka Bunker. Baka Bunker has like a proper plot. I guess also, I guess Team Eagle Eyes also kind of has a plot to it, or like an idea that could work for a plot. Doctor Who nerd. All right. Yeah, like it technically has an idea that could work for a plot, but again, it's like super complicated and convoluted, and it has me. They both require me to figure out the magic system, or quote unquote magic system, because it's not quite magic, but it's not quite not magic, you know? It's. Why did I create these fantasy worlds? What's wrong with me? But yeah, I make bad decisions is the point of this exercise. So yeah, I'm struggling with that. But it's fine. I'll get better. I can be better, I swear. That's not what I want. But yeah, I just need to like figure out how to do like, because they don't have to be that long. And I know like writing is not a stable career. It's not a stable profession. But I want to do it as a hobby, okay? I would love to do writing as a hobby at the very least, and I'd love to have like something done. That's like my goal, to do something. To have some payoff for what I'm doing. Full honestly. They were all good ones. Incredible day. Nice. I have today I have not written anything. Actually, no, that's not true. I wrote my I wrote about it was like 180 words of for my objects class. And I felt tired afterwards. So that's how I'm doing. I'm never finishing that tower, am I? Nah, screw that tower. It can stay in the sky. I'll probably finish it later, but yeah, I finished. You can go to sleep. All right. Good night. I'm actually probably gonna end about now anyway. See you later. Cool. I'm gonna end probably about now. Hi. Oh, you have Coke? Okay. Well, I have decided that I also wasn't planning to stream very long today, either, just because I still have stuff to do tomorrow. Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I have things I want to do tomorrow. And, so I do have to do homework tonight. And I'm tired. You know, I'm getting back into doing streaming stuff, so I need to be... I need to get used to stuff. So I think I will also call it a night. It's also because I'm playing Minecraft, and Minecraft doesn't like have a... It's like a lot more loose things for what I'm doing. But yeah, whatever. I'm gonna call it a night. Is there anyone who's streaming that we know? Let's check. Let's see. Not that I know of. Do you have anyone you want me to raid? Anyone you want me to raid so you can get them tokens? Them bridge tokens? I don't know what the delay is like on the thing. Yeah? Okay. What's up? Who am I raiding? Oh, I did organize my stuff. Okay, who am I rating? Miscellaneous blocks versus blast furnace shouldn't be in there. There. Tokens, but okay. Okay, who am I rating? You gotta give me, like... Oh, right, I haven't planted glowberries. I can plant glowberries. I'm gonna plant some glowberries. You haven't given me a person. Kinda just said, yes, I want bridge coins, and then did nothing about it. Polgara Rose. Is that, like, all of the capitalization and stuff? I know I'm asking, I can just check. Give me a second, I'm just gonna check. This is not food, right? This is not food. Just remove that and fix it. Think so? Okay. Well, let's try that out. I'm gonna do this. /raid. One more glug. Okay. And we're going to raid. All right, cool. So, hope you enjoyed. We're gonna go raid now. Have fun, be nice.